Bert speaking here. It's been a bit of a moment since the last video, and I think there's some good reasons for that. So I'm excited to be back with another example to share with you on how Mind works. I think to start the demo, the most important thing to share with you, sorry about the camera, is that we've got some new features to share with you, and we've improved the demo based on the last few months of trials and what we've been learning from our users, from you guys. And so, yeah, we're super excited to share one major new feature in this demo is that you can now explore and reflect across multiple entries. And I think what we're trying to get to with this demo and what we're testing for is whether or not we can help you see and explore patterns that might be present across a couple of entries. It turns out that I think we go through similar things over time, right? We experience similar events, or we have similar thoughts that persist over time, whether that be with relationships or with our work or a project that we're kind of trying to work through. And so I think the desire behind this demo and this improved feature is, can we accelerate the way that we notice details around these experiences, and can we surface that up for you to make it easier to explore, make it easier to pinpoint an opportunity for reflection. So super excited to have this out. We hope you'll give it a shot, and I think in this video I just wanted to again walk you through a brief example. I'm not gonna go super deep because this demo gives you a ton more information to work with, but maybe we can just kind of play around. So yeah, setting the scene on this one, it's about relationships. TLDR, I guess I'll run through each of the entries real quick. But here for me, I pasted entries about certain thoughts and experiences that I've had over the last few months, let's call it. I think they're connected, right? Because it all has to do with dating and relationship, my point of view on dating at this moment in time. And so really quickly, the first entry, you can pause this, read it, is effectively about realizing that I probably should be spending a bit more energy on dating, that as the year progressed, I was dealing with a ton of issues with my home and had to shift the focus of the business as well. And it just didn't feel like I had a ton of emotional energy to put into that place in my life. So the first entry is just about that and how some friends kind of helped me, just open up on the thought of dating a bit more. The second entry is about setting up my dating profile. I think this is something that a lot of people are accustomed to nowadays and kind of experiencing online dating. I think the first entry touches on the fact that I was kind of meeting people in person, and I liked that. That was like my natural move, but I wasn't exploring other, kind of avenues. And so I'm trying online dating. I'm finding it a little bit strange. So that's what the second entry is about. And the last one is just like an overarching experience on not feeling constantly in a great place to be dating, because it has been a difficult year. There's a lot of things happening in my life, with the business again, with my home, with some other personal things. And it just makes me feel like I'm not always either in the emotional state or in some cases the financial state to be engaging in dating. And that makes me feel a little strange, a little nervous. I'm not sure how to navigate that. So in fine, it's 3 entries about 3 disparate things that surround relationships. And so let's see what Mind has to say and how it works. So you can also just put 1 entry, you can put 2 entries, you can put 3 entries. If there's a clear pattern, it'll give you an opportunity to explore that. I should note that this is not about showing you whether a particular word is being repeated. If you put the word blue in all 3, it's looking for some deeper characteristics of patterns. It's not just looking for the same word or the same name of a person. And so if it doesn't work, you can try new entries, you can remove an entry, or you can just start with 1 and see what happens. So let's give it a shot. It always takes a brief moment to analyze, and so be patient. And so here we go. It kind of automatically will identify some of the key patterns that are across the entries. This is phenomenal. Even we are amazed by by this, so that's why I'm having a bit of a reaction. So there were apparently 3 core kind of patterns identified across all 3 entries, and it gives me a title for that entry, which is exciting because it helps me kind of contextually understand what it might be about. So I'll just give it a second and read them. So first pattern is the struggle with dating amidst personal challenges. So that's pretty accurate across all 3. The uncertainty and disappointment in the dating process. I think there's a couple mentions of that, and seeking connection despite difficult circumstances. Okay, so the point of this is to again give you these pathways, these entry points where you might want to take your reflection. The good news is you can hit any of them. You can hit 1, 2, or 3 of them and just explore them at your pace. So for this video, I'll just do 1, but you can press any of them and just explore at your own pace. So let's take a look. I think, let's see, the uncertainty and disappointment in the dating process. Why don't we go with this one, and I can explore the rest another time. So again, it'll analyze that pattern, and it'll give you a little bit more to work with. So let's give it a chance. What it's going to do here is do a little bit of the same thing that the first demo did, which is it's going to go and provide you a summary of sort of how the pattern is present across all 3 entries. And then it's going to give you some emotions that might be surrounding the instances of this pattern in particular. So you could have entries that have some positive things, some negative things, but when it comes to the context of this pattern specifically, those will be the expressed sentiments. And then we end again with some really cool questions. So I'm going to take a very brief second just to read this, and then maybe we can hit some of the questions together. Again, you could press the other patterns to explore them. They would give you a slightly different viewpoint based on the pattern that was identified. So again, explore at your own will, and that's all intended to make it easier, to make it a little bit more easy to navigate through the insights. So the writer expresses uncertainty and disappointment process and entries to mention difficulty. They also mentioned feeling unsure about their approach and starting conversation. The writer acknowledges their difficulties. Nervousness about dating without financial security, I feel. Overall, the writer entries showcases a recurring theme: uncertainty, disappointment, dating process stemming from various challenges and self-doubt. Yeah, I think I haven't found yet, and maybe it has to do with, some of the things that I'm taking on, again, professionally and personally, where I haven't been in flow, and I'm not feeling super drawn to, and so I'm fighting that, and that creates definitely some questions like, am I doing something right, something wrong? What can I change? And I think that thinking is not always super beneficial. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, right? Is it the right moment? Are you excited about it? What are you excited about? So that's what it's making me think already, this summary, and that's kind of nice. I think there's definitely some uncertainty. It is disappointing, right, to get rejected if you ask somebody out and they might not see it the same way, right? So how do you move on from that? And some insecurity as well, which is, I'm feeling nervous about sharing, where I'm at and what I can and can't do as part of the dating process. I'm feeling nervous about the financial commitment right now and how I can contribute to that or not, and not in any ostentatious ways, just, I'm feeling very financially pressured right now, and that's just a moment in time. I don't think that's unique to me. I think, that's something that people go through. So, how can you navigate the challenges of finding personal emotional energy for dating while dealing with other pressures in your life? I think something that I'm quintessentially terrible at, and I mean that in a constructive way, is that I don't plan a lot of things. I am somebody who likes to do a lot of different things at different times, and I think just right away coming to mind might be just to plan some time aside each week to focus on that, as opposed to doing it at the whim of the wind, so to speak. Like, I think that that's something I would like to try, and that's a really cool question, because up until this moment I was sort of like feeling stuck to that pattern of my own behavior there, which is that I just kind of like pick it up whenever and it's distracting, and I'm not probably fully engaged in the process. So I think that's something I'm going to try. And the second question is, in what ways can you reframe your negative feelings towards online dating and overcome the sense of inauthenticity or unnaturalness? Yeah, this is a good one, right? In one of the entries, and you can go back, I talk about how, like, is there really a reason for why I should be feeling a certain way towards online dating? Like, is it that terrible? Yeah, sure, like all the pricing and all this stuff, like, is absolutely egregious. But it's just a new means of connecting. And so I think on that, I could probably just open my mind to the fact that this is one more way to connect with new people. I think that feels off to me because it's maybe different than what I like to do, and I'm not going to stop meeting people in person. But I think that's on me to kind of like soften my point of view, because I don't have a good reason to tell you that's necessarily worse, that I'm going to meet necessarily worse people online than I am in person. I don't have any evidence of that. And so that's something that I could probably just focus on a little bit more, and then overcome the sense of inauthenticity and unnaturalness. I think like that moment where you reach out, whether you are matched with someone or whether you wait for somebody to match with you, like, I think there can be an awkward, like, first kind of messaging experience there, and I'm not sure yet how I want to change that, where sometimes it's a bit of banter or like some kind of fun like intro, and I just wonder if I could look at that a bit differently. So again, might not have all the answers yet, but these questions are helping me really get into one of the core things of these three entries. And that's what's really exciting for us about this demo, is whether it be about exploring an idea, maybe a couple experiences you've had while traveling, or while interacting with a friend or a partner, or some thoughts that you've been having on a new class you want to take, or whatever that might be. I think this tool is just meant to simplify our ability to see in between. And yeah, we would absolutely love feedback. We would love to know what you think. We know it's pretty basic in its form right now, and we're just so excited to keep learning from you all. So if you have a chance to try it, you can leave feedback at the end here. You can also report a bug if it's not working. And if you kind of are done with an exploration, you can take a screenshot for now. We are obviously working on our beta, and we're going to roll these features into an ability to create an account and save these entries. But right now, we would just encourage you to take screenshots, save your entries in the notes potentially. And if you want to try with a different set of entries, whether you've written them before or you just are now inspired to try again, you can clear all your entries here, refresh the page, and try again. So super excited to get this out to you all. We'd love to know what you think, and we'll do a couple of these videos as well to continue helping folks broaden their view on how to use this tool, how we use this tool, and what you can look for. So talk soon, and yeah. How do I end this video? Key question.